Hey everybody, it's Neil from Growlies. I wanted to talk today about a great idea for a topic that was given to me by Sarah of Canine Good Life, a local trainer here located in Machosen. And Sarah, her topic that she requested I give some opinion on was chews for puppies, safe chews for puppies. And so there's two stages of puppies in regards to chews. We're talking about pre-4 months, so you know their teeth are still growing in, they still got their puppy teeth, and then 4 to 7 months where they're teething and getting in their adult teeth, and then after 7 months where they have their adult teeth. And so the pre-guys, you really don't want to do much bone with the guys who are really small. I mean, you could do a frozen stuffed Kong where you're taking a little bit of meat or a little bit of a high-value treat and stuffing it in a small Kong and giving that to them to play with and chew and enjoy, that kind of thing. There's also something, so if you follow Alicia West, what's her handle? Alicia's handle? Oh, dagnabbit. Terry is not big in social media, apparently. What's it?
Is it the
West Coast Healer Pack on Instagram. So if you follow her, she has this little thing that she stuffs frozen foods into, and you'll have to ask her on Instagram what it's called. It's called a hoolie or a boolie or a foolie or something, because they come up with these crazy names and they're for marketing, but I can't remember the darn thing. But it's by West Paw Design, and I do know that we have. No, we don't have them. Okay, but you know, check her out. West Coast Healer Pack on Instagram. She uses that all the time. Also, you know, things that are, you know, frozen and stuffed are pretty good. You don't want to overdo the frozen thing because you don't want to cool them off too much. But that's a good option. The other option, of course, is hollow dried meat chews. Like, I'm not a huge fan, until they're actually teething into their adult teeth, I'm not a huge fan of the big thick bullies, you know, the bully sticks. Oh, cut off my head there. The bully sticks, you know. Because if you look, like that's, oh, where's the camera there? That's a pretty thick piece of dried meat, you know. And so that I wouldn't really do, unless it's a large breed animal or, you know, a fairly good-sized dog. The little guys, I wouldn't necessarily do something that thick and heavy with. But these hollow ones, these hollow dried meat treats are not terrible at all. These are going to gum them and enjoy them, and you can cut these in pieces and give them these hollow ones. And they're perfectly fine. Now, once they've gotten to that stage where they're chewing like good, you know, so on, they're really chewing, or they're in that 4 to 7 month stage of working on growing out their adult teeth, that's when we can start giving them non-weight bearing bone. And so, you know, you can do your dried meat chews for any of them as appropriate. So we're not doing the big thick ones until they're a little older. We're not talking like a 10-week-old. But then once they're in that 4 to 7 month range, we want to do non-weight bearing bone. So we're talking, you know, wild boar ribs. Do you need me, Terry?
Yeah.
Okay. Wild boar ribs, lamb necks, sardines. These are, you know, a bag of sardines, big country sardines. Stuff like this. We can do chicken necks, we can do turkey necks, we can do things like that are really good, healthy chews that helps them through the teething phase of their life, that 4 to 7 months. And by the way, they're going to eat most of their teeth. You're not going to see them. They're going to end up in their bellies. Occasionally you'll find one in their beds. And so, you know, chicken necks, turkey necks, non-weight bearing, so not the leg bone. So I wouldn't recommend chicken feet even until they're a little older, unless they're a very large breed animal. But the little guys, I wouldn't do stuff like that until they're got their adult teeth in at 7 months. And then I don't reserve. I'm never a big fan of the leg bones of cows. Lots of people use them perfectly safely, and if you do, I prefer the knuckle over the soup bone. The soup bone, I find, can be really hard on teeth, and that's where those slab fractures on the teeth come from. Lots of dogs suffer from slab fractures. They are bone eaters by nature. It is a normal thing to happen, but you don't want it to happen. It's a terrible thing. Have you ever broken tooth? Don't do that. Don't do that. So stay away from leg bones, like soup bones. Use non-weight bearing bones. Use frozen stuffed things like Kongs, or hollow dried meats like the twisties, things of that nature. The Everest cheese chews, you know, those yak milk cheese chews, those are decent. But you know, any of those dried hollow dried meats when they're young are just fine. Yeah, no, that's another one. So Joanne reminded me about these ones, and again, they're fairly soft, size appropriate. Always size appropriate. So big dogs, you know, little dogs, so on and so forth. So these are horns. So these are essentially made up of the same stuff as fingernail, and so that can give them a fairly safe chew that's safer than a leg bone or a soup bone. And then I really like these little ones, these little horns, and they have still some of the matrix that was the marrow in there. Fantastic product. But any of that kind of thing, anything that's you know, soothing to the gums, that's why those frozen Kongs kind of approach works really well. Talk to your trainer, see what they think. You know, I guess that's me going on about how to give a safe bone to a puppy. So non-weight bearing, so the necks, the ribs, the poultry, often very safe bones. Raw, of course. Not a big fan of smoked bones. We don't sell them for a reason. They do hurt a lot of dogs. And so, yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. And then we have these up and for sale now. The Growlies, Howleys by Growlies. Made in Nanaimo for us, almost a pound of food or of treats with chickpea, flax, lamb liver, applesauce, blueberries, and baking powder. Simple, grain-free, of course. There is no grain in any of those things. Somebody told us the other day that baking powder had grain in it. Had to look that up. That is not true. There's no grain in baking powder. And wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys checking this out. And if you got a puppy, bring them by. Love to get shots of puppies. Love to get pictures of puppies, because there's nothing better than a puppy smile. Cheers. Bye.